Why do you go racing? Like, what is it like? You know, some guys like to play golf, and some guys, you know, like to.
Yeah, well, I hate golf. I first actually met Ron about 2006, 2008 timeline, looking for sponsorship for the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. And the conversation was fairly short, polite, but he said, if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on race cars, I wanna be the one holding the steering wheel. Fast forward 10 years, we met Ron at Canadian Motorsports Park. Ron was up here running his bikes, motorcycles for a few days with some friends, and I believe they were starting to realize that while the bikes were a lot of fun, they also were a little bit more dangerous than cars. I don't even know so much it was car racing. It was, okay, I want a race car, so let's go try to build one. So started off by building one in the garage and then progressing from there, right? So when I first got in one of the TCRs and to run the front wheel drive, I got out of it with a big smile on my face, kind of giggling, right? So it was one of those things where it was, hey, that was fun. The next thing you know, we're off racing them. So.
The FEL SCCC Championship, competing as part of the Indy weekend in Toronto, it's enormous. It's a great challenge for the drivers because at this track, you're surrounded by concrete blocks and they all say, wow, is this ever different? But it's also cool because you're in the shadows of IndyCar. You're at one of the biggest motorsports events in the country and the focus gets to be on you.
So I guess we started in practice yesterday, first time out on this track, and it's, you know, other than running Trois Rivières a few years ago, it's, you know, really the second time on a road course that's complete concrete walls everywhere, and it's a little daunting. Not at all comfortable. So typically I drive by the seat of my pants and don't prep very much, so I just show up and drive, and definitely a different experience not having any time out there at all. So it's interesting.
Racing is an outlet for Ron. It's something that he does in his leisure time to escape from work, board meetings, and financial statements. And like all entrepreneurs, in order to be successful, you have to commit yourself to it, you have to practice, and you have that drive that wants to constantly be better than you were the day before.
So getting into the car yesterday, I was a little disappointed with my times and the worriedness that I had going into the corners and stuff, and worried that the car wasn't going to stick. But I got out there this morning and got a little bit more comfortable with the car, and it seems to have the grip like the guy said it would have, and looking forward to getting into this first race.
Today, the Sports Car Championship Canada reaches a new level. The SCCC performs on track as one of the feature attractions at the Toronto Indy.
And we're underway in the streets of Toronto.
The guys all got piled up together and the whole track was blocked, so quite sure what happened in front of me, but there was nowhere to go, so we ended up stuck in the wall.
The car on Saturday wasn't building enough boost, so we were down on power. We found a bit of an intercooler leak. We got that fixed, and on Sunday we had that power back. So, you know, we fought our way from the back of the field up through the pack, and when the two cars
in the lead got into that little bit of a tangle, it created quite a mess coming through that one corner. Like it was basically, there was nowhere to go and everybody just piled into each other and made quite a mess. Considering the field, I guess it feels pretty good. You know, when you take a look at the age bracket of the majority of the drivers in the series, I'm probably on the far end of the scale compared to most of them. So for me, it's a pretty good feeling to, you know, be able to compete with those guys.
Tell us what happened.
When?
Just now. How did we do?
We came in last.
So after a few years, Ron, being a family man, wants to share this hobby with his daughters and his wife. So Ron brought Megan up to the track.
She has a lot of talent, a lot of natural talent behind the wheel. Probably because of the way Ron was brought up, he brought her up that way, around dirt bikes, four-wheelers, ATVs. So she has a lot of feel in her hands.
I think I've always had like a passion for adrenaline and chased adrenaline sports. I dirt biked when I was younger, and then my dad was always up at the track, and I think I was like 15, and I was like, I want to go out on track, and it just went from there.
Like, it's not something that I'm pushing her into, it's something that she wants to do, and she's having fun with it, and she's good at it. It doesn't hurt that she likes to post better lap times than me, right? So it gives her a little bit of incentive.
She can wheel a car, wet, dry, it doesn't matter. Now it was more about training her on focus, training her on adapting to different environments, training her on being able to put together a complete race weekend. But just putting her in those situations more and more and more and more so she can learn and grow as a race car driver.
For Megan, her 2022 goal was really to continue developing the front wheel drive platform, learn a few of those tracks, and then start to get experience in the Audi TCR car. Throughout the season, she had developed in that SPC series, while simultaneously testing and learning that Audi TCR car here at Calabogie, culminating in the 3-hour regional series enduro with her dad. We're using this 3-hour race as an opportunity for two drivers to get in the same car, feel how a car evolves over a stint, understand, you know, having to hit your marks and some of those consistencies that we need where it really starts to pay off in a longer race, and a fun opportunity for Ron and Meg to race together. Fun race, back to CTMP, a track a lot of our drivers know, and a great opportunity to continue to develop towards their goals.
You know, coming into the race, it was like, okay, we're going to a race. It was no big deal. And then, you know, the few days leading up to it, you start thinking about it more and more, and it's like, okay, wow, this is really special. This is something neat. Not often do you get a chance, you know, to run with your daughter in a race, and particularly when you take a look at, you know, what she's been trying to do to build up her abilities, and for me, just to get into the same car with her and run, it's pretty special. I don't think you'll find many father-daughter teams across North America that are getting the chance to do this.
I'm starting, he's finishing, and he put us in a good qualifying position as well. He has a lot more experience in the car than me. That's definitely something to take into consideration. And so hopefully I can keep my lap times where I want them to be for the duration of the enduro to maintain position.
For us, knowing motorsports is a big family industry. It was really cool to see that progression in Megan over the last 5 years, to go from a young driver just getting her first experience here on track to being able to compete in an endurance race alongside her father in a really cool TCR race car. So to be able to help facilitate that is an honor for us, and really cool to see them be able to experience that moment together.